Hello everyone and welcome to round 1 of season 4 of the IVGTC International VTuber Championship. I'm Raceroom, a new voice on this channel doing commentary for the first time, and I'm joined by...
I'm Evan. Welcome back everybody. We're in season 4. Sadly Julian could not make it to commentary today because he is ill. We wish him a relatively speedy recovery, and as we all know, when it comes to racing, the show must go all on. So we have Reska today to replace him for, today.
Yeah, fingers crossed Julian recovers quickly so that I can get back on track.
But I would have predicted it. So it's glad. Anyways, glad to see you here, man. How you doing?
I am not so bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good as well. So, what do we have in store for today, man?
Well, it's season 4, the new season, our second season in Assetto Corsa Competizione. Lots of returning faces and some new ones, and some car changes and all sorts. We're looking at our reigning VTuber champion, Psycho Kaiser, right now. Currently down in 9th place in qualifying, so not up the front where he's used to being. And he's actually not the top VTuber right now in qualifying. Anderson, a new entry, is currently sitting 8th, not on track at the moment. But possibly a newcomer gonna upset the usual ranks there. Just going out on track again now.
Yes, and speaking of the track for today is Silverstone. We are running on the Grand Prix layout, but we're obviously starting at Cops instead of Club, where the Formula 1 start is. But for every other racing series, it's usually here at Cobb. So we might actually see a very packed field going through Maggots and Beckett's. So that's going to be interesting, now that I think about it.
Yes, Cops is a very scary corner to start a big race with a lot of cars. And there are a lot of cars today. 33 right now on the server. Possibly one of the biggest fields we've had in IVGTC. I don't know the number of the biggest, but this has got to be up there, I think.
It actually does beat the largest server we had by quite a few.
Really? Wow.
The record we had was Season 2 Brands Hatch with 27 drivers. So yeah, this beats... Yeah, we had 27 drivers before. We matched it with 27 at Spa last season, the finale last season. Yeah, but here... at Silverstone, the start of season 4, the biggest season. Honestly, the moment we opened registration, it filled up like in two maybe 3 days. People were excited. People were excited to race, and I'm excited to commentate this. So yeah.
Indeed, I'd like to be out on track today, but to be honest, watching this massive race go down is gonna be fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Exactly. I mean, just like any race. It would be fun to participate, but I'm pretty sure it's more fun to just sit on the side with a bag of popcorn. Just watch the dance unfold. Yeah.
Our pole sitter right now is Kiritani, who is in the Sim Racer class, racing in the Porsche 911. With a fantastic livery. I'm just looking at it for the first time now. Lots of Itasha liveries in the field, as you'd expect from this sort of series. And yeah, really nice livery on that car.
I wonder what kind of magic Kiritani is gonna pull, because I remember the finale of last season. This person was just driving the Porsche like it was an F1 car. The lines Kiritani was taking was just unbelievable at Spa.
Yeah, the Porsche is that sort of car where, I think a lot of people can't quite get to grips with it, but if you can pedal it right, it really rewards you, doesn't it?
Yeah. And speaking of strange cars, I believe we have quite a few strange cars. I believe we have a Jaguar and a Lamborghini a couple of Lamborghinis on the track, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, yeah, we have Kanemoto returning again for this season, but has switched to the Jaguar, running a fantastic Scottish. I believe it is a recreation of a retro livery, with a sort of Scottish flag on it, designed by Snool Brunch.
Yes.
And that's not the only old car, as you mentioned. Who's running the old Lambo? Oh, here we are. D-Ringer running the Gallardo, not the Huracan that we're used to seeing in GT3 racing these days.
Running the Rater Spec Gallardo, which is honestly, it's a very good-looking GT car. I'm gonna say that right now.
It is. You know, you forget about some of these old cars, or at least I do, as they get, you know, pushed to the sidelines. But then you see them on track again, and you think, damn, that was a nice car.
Yeah. Anytime, like, if anyone watching this, if you ever hear about, I don't know, like a historic GT race ever pop up in like in like some racing news, you make sure that you tune into that the same way you've come to tune into IVGTC, because you will see some incredible gems. Like, I wish that the Selena 7R was in this game. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, there's lots of classic GT cars that I'd love to see get mixed in with all the modern ones here, but yeah, mainly just the Jag and the Gallardo today. Just the one of each. But other than that, we got all the modern machinery as well. We've got a Porsche up front, and it is a Huracan in second place, the more modern Lamborghini offering. Porsche in third as well, with another Itasha livery. Porsche's looking very strong here at Silverstone.
Yeah, that is also an older Porsche too. That's the previous generation.
Yeah. I believe Kirtani is running the newer one.
Yeah, Kirtani is running the 991.2, whilst I believe, I can't see it because it's a bit pixelated, the name.
It's a long one. I've tried to practice this earlier. Arara no Kyoji. Okay. Sakuna is the first name. I might go with that one. I'm not gonna lie.
Anyway, Arara no Kyoji is running the first version of the 991 spec 911s, which, you know, again, it's still a pretty good car. It's still pretty speedy. Yeah. The jump between 991 and a 991.2 was not that huge. I believe it was more of a facelift than anything. So the performance will be similar both in GTs and just road cars as well.
Fourth place is Sawaya with the BMW M4, a very popular choice at the moment in ACC. Very reliable, somewhat easy to drive, but not in any way a slow car either.
Yeah. Then again, I don't know. I still don't know. I'm still on the fence about its performance, because I've not really seen any breakout performances with people using the BMW so far. I don't know if that's a driver fault or machinery fault, but hey, maybe today will be a difference.
Yeah, BMW currently up in fourth place, 5/10 off the pole in Sawaya's hands at the moment. A couple of McLarens in the top 10 here as well. I gotta get the right number for this, 720S, right?
It's a 720S.
Yes, I lose track of the McLarens a little bit with the numbering schemes, but yeah, Gergely right now, a regular in last few seasons. In fifth place right now with the first McLaren of the bunch.
Yes, it's a very sleek. It's just pure carbon fiber right now.
Yeah, a very striking livery. You wouldn't normally say that, considering it is essentially blank, but the fact that it's blank is what makes it striking.
Very striking livery, as in the fact that it doesn't even have a livery.
Exactly, it stands out in the opposite way you'd expect.
Yeah.
Castellas with a definitely not a blank livery at all, a Liquimoli livery, very busy livery, the next of the BMWs.
Yeah. Casillas was just shy of getting first place in the sim class in the last season's finale, if I'm not mistaken.
It just shows how strong the sim racers are showing today. You know, top 6 all sim racers. So Casillas ahead of all of the VTubers, but still only 6th place in his category.
Yeah. Kind of surprised that Kaiser is that low on the grid, though. Gonna be honest.
Yeah, maybe the BMW. I mean, we see Sawaya a bit faster, 3/10 faster. So we know the BMW can go a little bit quicker, but even then, that BMW is 5/10 off the pole. So maybe it's just not the car to have here today.
Yeah, maybe the Lexus is not cut out for Silverstone.
Yeah, speaking of Lexus, the first Lexus of the bunch, the Lexuses that made such a splash last season. Psycho Kaiser only down in 9th overall, second in the VTuber category, but only 9th overall, 1.7 off of the pole right now. not what we're used to seeing from Psycho and the various Lexuses in the field.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked that the Lexus is not doing that well, considering there's a lot of long straights at Silverstone.
This should be a Lexus track, really, I feel. You know,
Yeah,
it's
because
often
there's
not as
some
simple
kind
as
of-
that, but, you know, on paper it should be.
Yeah, because obviously there's the hangar straight, and then there's right out of the arena there's the long straight down to Brooklands, and then straight after Brooklands there's obviously the exit of Luffield, which leads to Brooklands. Like, there's a lot of high-speed areas at Silverstone, so I'm genuinely surprised that the Lexus is not performing as well as it can.
Could it be, you know, a lot of the straights are led onto with fast corners? Could they be struggling in the corners to the point that they don't get onto the straight with enough speed, and it kind of negates their top speed? I'm not sure.
I mean, yeah, now that you mentioned it, most of the straights are after very technical sections.
Yeah,
Like
particularly
we said,
you know, hangar straight, you know, you got Maggots and Beckets, and if you're slow through Maggots and Beckets and all that, and you come onto the straight
Yeah.
with a low speed, that then hurts you at the end, even if you've got top speed.
again,
I
I've
wouldn't expect it
not
to be that
driven.
much, but
Yeah, then again, I've not driven the Lexus all that much, so I can't really comment on how good it is around corners.
I tried a few laps of it when I was testing for last season, and I gave up on it very quickly. It wasn't for me, let's say. I struggled to get to grips with it.
Yeah.
We're coming to the end of the qualifying now, actually. Not much has changed at the top since we've last gone through them. Kiritani's still on pole right now. Are they still on track? No, they're not, so that will be their best time. Psycho Kaiser was on track, but I think he's parking up here. Yeah, he's done. I think most people will have finished their laps now. No one's really on track. Aravano Kyoji on track right now. Not sure if they're on a fast lap right now. Don't think so by the looks of the timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we
30
go. That is
seconds.
the ending of the qualifying session. Let me
Yes.
just clear this
As
screen.
usual. Yep. As usual, we have two 35-minute races today, like we've always had. Rolling start in a minute and a half. So people better get to warming up those tires if they want to get exit. If they want to get a good start, especially considering that we're leading into Cops.
Yeah,
Surprising.
Cops is a very scary corner to go into side by side because it will be a double file rolling start, and we can expect to see some bumping at Cops. It's going to happen, unfortunately, but hopefully everyone keeps it clean.
I wonder if anyone's gonna try to go 3 wide into Maggots and Beckets.
Oh dear.
Well, we'll see at the end of the formation lap, won't we?
Yeah, we will indeed. We'll run through the full grid, I suppose, while we're waiting for the rolling start and formation lap here. It will take a few minutes to get the cars all the way around Silverstone. So it is Kiritani on pole in that newer of the Porsches, and Brenham in the Huracan, right behind in second. Directly behind Kiritani is Sakana Arara no Kyoji in the older of the Porsches. Sawaya in the first of the M4s. Gurgley in the 6. I knew I'd do that. 720S. Kazayas in the M4. Again, right behind his other M4 compatriot. Then the first of the VTubers. Psycho Kaiser did actually jump to the pole. I just realised he is actually ahead of Anderson now. Anderson starting alongside in the McLaren. Akim bin Abbas in the first of our Mercedes cars. In 9th place, and Chris Blue returning this season in the M4. I think that he was in the M4 last season as well.
No, he was in the M6 last season.
Oh,
so
indeed, yeah. It was BMW, but it was M6 last time. So he's upgraded to the newer model, sacrificing some top speed, I believe, by doing that.
Yeah, I believe he loses like 10 kph, but the grip advantages far outweigh that.
Indeed. 7-2 in the VTuber category, 3rd in the Huracan. Damasu in the Porsche, that is the newer Porsche again there. 12th place, 4th in VTuber category. Akito Asasagawa with a new livery for this season. First time we've shown that on the stream today. Once again returning in the Lexus though. He's 5th in VTuber category. Georgi in the McLaren behind. D-Ringer only managed 15th in the Reiter Lamborghini, but hopefully we'll see a good show with the old car today. Nemtsovsky in the McLaren, very orange classic McLaren livery there, followed by Fak in another McLaren. Tricks behind, returning this season, upgrading from the Jag to the new Mercedes AMG with a fantastic yellow and black Cyberpunk entrance livery, very topical for the moment.
Yep.
Hartog in the M4. Victor Assetto. Oh, sorry, go on.
Was the Tom Hartog, if I remember correctly, he won the sim racing class last season. So let's see if he can do it again this season. But with how the grid is lined up today, I don't think he's going to be defending.
Yeah, down in 19th there. That's surprising from the defending sim racer champion.
Yes, sir.
Victor Masato behind in a very unorthodox livery, a very interesting looking car, almost looks like an art car sort of design. I'm a particular fan of the Among Us's on the rear wing and on the sides of the car.
Wait, he has an Among Us on the car?
He has about 20 Among Us's on the car. Like, I kept spotting more the longer I looked at it. They're all of his VTuber art siblings, apparently, so quite a nice little touch, I think.
Alright. Moving forward.
Prastupa in the Aston Martin. That is the V8 one, right? The V12 is the older one. I don't think we have any of the older ones anymore, or do we'll find out as we go down. I think
we will see.
Jordan Brunch, I like this livery a lot actually. The old Calibra livery recreated on the Lexus. I'm a fan of that. I think it turned out really well.
Yeah, same.
Bunovic in the Mercedes. Adskia in the Audi. Very nice livery on that one as well, actually. Another Itasha by the looks of it.
Yep.
Rousseau in the Ferrari. Is that our first Ferrari in the order? It is. Our only Ferrari, actually.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That is our first Ferrari of the grid so far.
Indeed. Down in 25th overall. Justice Kuro, another Itasha livery over themselves in our VTuber category, running the Huracan. Dubrovka in the... This is the V12 Aston Martin, the older model. Classic livery, that, the Bill Stein livery and real life livery. Oh, we're coming to the green actually. That took quicker than I thought. I'm gonna stop myself there, and we're gonna go to the front. I can't believe I actually didn't get through it in all that time.
Anyways.
Right, the moment we've all been waiting for. They are slowly coming to the line. We'll wait for ACC to set them off. Kiritani leading them to the line.
So we're going right around Woodcut. I say it like Woodcut. Anyways. I have a weird accent, okay. And off they go.
Green light, green light.
There we go, they're going now. Side by side between Kiritani and Brenham. Will they all keep it clean? Clean between the two leaders at least for now.
Looks like a very clean start so far, but anything can unfold going into Maggots and Vegas.
Brenham gets the jump around the outside on Kiritani, so we have a change of lead right from the start.
Yep. But the race has just only begun. There's 34 minutes for Kiritani to catch back up and get that position back.
I think there has been an issue for Cypher Kaiser here.
Oh, definitely.
He's
down.
Way at the back. Let's just take a replay here as he came to the line. I think I've rewound a little too far there. Sorry about that, but we will see him accelerate in just a moment. I'm imagining it's a turn one incident. And it's already kicked me out of it, but here we go. Let's have a look again.
Ah, yeah. Frank.
It wasn't turn one. When did the incident happen?
like maybe he got a bad start.
Oh, he sort of went off to avoid someone and spun off into Magnussen Beckett's. Really unfortunate for him.
Yeah,
So back to the front for now. Brenham still leading, almost a second gap on Kiritani already.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. I believe the Lamborghini is pretty much on the same level as the Porsche. A bit tricky to get, but when you do get the grips with it, it's pretty damn decent.
Jumping down a bit, our leader of our VTuber category after the start drama is 7-2, who's jumped a couple of positions. Obviously past Psycho, but also Anderson to take the lead in the VTuber category. Yeah,
that's also pretty important to get that early jump on people as well, especially when all the chaos is unfolding. As we've already gone into lap 2, that just went off in a flash.
Indeed, Brenham still leads from Kiritani up front. Gap staying around 7/10 of a second. The gap here between the two VTuber leaders much closer. Almost nothing right now as they come onto the hangar straight. Will Anderson be able to have a run heading down into Stowe Corner? Doesn't look like it. There's legs on that Lamborghini. The McLaren can't get any sort of draft, it seems.
Yeah, the McLaren definitely has more of a stability advantage than anything else compared to the Huracan. So, yeah.
Oh, they've got people up. Oh, drama up in front. That's Chris Blue, I think, getting turned there, or at least being involved in an incident. Now our VTuber leaders are side by side as a result of that. Chris Blue, perhaps angry, wants to make it 3 wide into the Formula 1 turn 1. Oh, it's mostly clean. There's a bump there, but that could have been much worse than that.
Also, just a random correction, that is Casillas in the M4.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, it is kind of sketchy making a move on like they did on Abbey, but right now they're just exiting the arena section onto the huge straight leading down to Brooklands. So now it's just a matter of top speed.
Akito's benefited in all of that in the
Alexis.
Yeah, I went back too far there, but I wanted to have a replay of him passing Anderson. But he did manage to pass Anderson and all that, and has come up to...
This is all the way back at club.
Yeah, that's too far. But here we are back live, and they are side by side heading into Cops.
Yep.
Akito had a fantastic start overall these first few laps. He's now second in the VTuber category. This is the battle for second in the VTuber category you're seeing on the screen. Anderson going further back down, possibly side by side into Magnussen Beckett's with Damasu. Stays ahead though for now.
Yeah, just like defending, attacking is also very sketchy through Magnussen Beckett's, just because of how the corners are laid out for the drivers.
Yeah, there's really only one line through there. In most cars, especially these GT3s, they have a lot of downforce these days, but you really don't want to be offline any more than you need to be.
Yep, that is true. Meanwhile, we're looking Kiritani set the fastest lap of the race so far. So
indeed, the gap at the very top of the field has come down a bit. It's within half a second now. Looks less than that at some points though. Kiritani are setting the fastest lap right on the back of Brenham, so that Porsche coming into play more after these first few laps.
Yeah, these two seem to be just on a league of their own right now. They might just pull away from the whole field, which they're already doing.
Indeed, yeah, it's a further 2 seconds back to Sawaya, over 2 seconds in the M4. So these top two right now checking out, but still plenty of the race to go. Still half an hour remaining. Yeah,
and it also does depend if they want to fight or if they want to just stay safe and keep position, because you don't want to just risk losing your position just for the sake of one extra spot.
Akito fighting with Nemtsovsky here. Not in the same category, but Akito's got to clear these guys to make it up to 7-2 to challenge for the VTuber victory right now.
Yeah, that is true.
Nemcovski's running his own race though, wants to get up to the sim racers ahead of him and wants to have a look into Maggots and Beckett's. Leaves it for now though.
Yeah. That is, I think, one crucial part of... I think backing out is one crucial part of racing that I don't see a lot of people really, understand.
Yeah.
When it comes to sim racing as well, because sim racing is still racing. You still have to just execute the same strategies they do in real life. So when
contact between Assetto and Nemcovski. Both of them head into the gravel. That is very unfortunate.
Yeah. That did not go to plan, did it?
And Assetto loses it slightly as he changes surface onto the tarmac. Gathers it up once again though and is back on track now.
Never forget about dirty tires. That is a thing that exists.
And the two of them are still nose to tail. I think we're going to stay with this battle for a bit because I think tensions might be a little bit heated there. Not gonna... Oh dear, there is contact once again. Not what you want to see.
Yeah, that is kind of...
That is something for the stewards to look at after the race, that is for sure.
Yeah, that's all I can really say. I mean, I want to put it up to racing, but happening twice in a row, I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, we will be looking at that one, that is for sure. Assetto moves quite far down the order with all of that. 7th in the VTuber category, I make it right now, behind Masato, Psycho Kaiser, who's having a pretty good run back actually. Also Tricks as well, he's fallen behind.
Yeah, Kaiser has made a pretty good comeback considering I believe he fell all the way down to P29.
Yeah, I had to scroll all the way down on my timing to find him. But he's up in 17th overall now, and I make it 5th in the VTuber standings. So that's a good recovery already, and we're still early on in the race.
Will he actually complete the first challenge he was trying to do at Spa this time?
We shall see. I mean, now Assetto can have a go at that as well. Is Assetto... Assetto's having issues again. Let's go back. Apologies, Assetto's livery isn't working for me in the replay, but this is Assetto. Oh, he just lost it in cops.
Yeah,
again. He keeps out of the wall, I believe. Gravel trap doing its job there.
Like I said before, never underestimate cops just because it's a right kink. It's more than a right kink, it's the devil.
Yes, he's behind his friend and teammate at Kaneka Racing, Jordan Brunch right now. Side by side they go towards Stowe. Will there be some team mods in play or will they fight for this? No, Jordan appears to let him go quite easily there.
Yeah, because Assetto is the better driver out of the two of them.
Yeah, it makes sense. Oh, Jordan's having a look into club chicane though, but no, can't make it work here.
I only said that Assetto was a better driver. I never said that there was team orders with Connect. They've been having these sorts of battles since last season. This is not new to them. Yeah. This has been happening since Monza.
Yeah, it's good to see inter-team battles though. You know, there's a lot of Kaneka Racing affiliated drivers in the grid, but you know they're all racing for themselves pretty much. So it's nice to see some good battles.
There is no such thing as teammates.
Kanemoto has actually gone several laps down. They must have had some damage earlier on.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the front.
I mean, it is a Jag.
I think the Jag alone isn't worth 3 laps down, but...
But it just broke down on its own, like it is Jag. Let's not forget that.
Brenham's pulled out a bit once again on Kiritani. Gap is now 7/10 to the second again, so maybe it's just a few bad laps and he's managed to find his pace again. But they're still very close, still within a second, and have been for the whole race.
Yeah, these two seem to be managing everything near to perfection. Like they're both fast and they seem to be managing their tires pretty well, which is pretty impressive considering they're also Kiritani has been holding that pace compared to Brennan.
Yeah, their best laps are actually within a tenth of each other. Very, very close.
Yeah.
58.212 for Brennan, but 58.175 for Kiritani. So while Kiritani does hold that fastest lap, it's only by a hair.
Yeah, and I believe Brennan did actually have the fastest lap a minute ago,
Oh,
and
really?
Kirtani took it back. Yeah.
I missed that.
It wasn't, but I was taking the time sample. I was like, oh, Brennan got the fast lap now, but now we look at it, it's Kirtani again. So yeah, they're neck and neck when it comes to pace right now.
These two are pushing as well. If they're trading fastest laps, you know they must be on the limit, pushing every lap, trying to either catch up to the other one or gap away from the other one. It's a similar gap in our VTuber category for the lead. It's just gone out a bit actually. 1.3 seconds to Damaso from Anderson now. Damaso must have lost a little bit of time there, I think, but still quite close. 1.3 seconds. And then it's quite a way back to... it is now Pulsatrix in third place. Haven't spoken much about Pulsatrix earlier on, but with all this drama, they are now third in the YouTuber category. Quite a way back on the track though.
Yep.
Made it up into a good position.
Yeah, again, as I mentioned at the start of the race, it's all about managing around the chaos, and I think Pulsatrix has done that pretty well, just keeping out of trouble and keeping the car on track, you know? That wins races. At least finishes races, I'd say. So.
7-2 has dropped back as well. I believe we missed why 7-2 dropped back. I know we had Akito going off, but I think 7-2 ran into trouble at the same time.
Yeah, and plus 7-2 was, I believe, P10 overall, or like P9 overall or something.
We have a replay here. I'm not sure if this is going to be the incident. Oh, yep, they just lost it in front of, I think that was Casillas.
Yes, that is Casillas. It just... The car just completely went... It's this thing that we mentioned before again, like the Huracan, the Lamborghinis are hard to control, but once you get the hang of them, they're good. I guess 7-2 found the limit of that one.
It looks like 7-2 wanted to go for the pit lane there, but it was the old pit lane. They're actually going to go a lap down now?
No.
Oh.
Timing. Oh yeah, a little squirrely there. I think 7-2 might have damage.
Yeah, they certainly do, and I think they're trying to find the pit lane, but they are a bit of a obstacle for the full speed cars right now as they limp home with a very damaged car.
Yep.
There's a replay here. I'm not sure if this is a nut. No, this is what we just saw, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is what we just saw. Just gets a little squirrely.
Getting a bit of a door bang from McLaren there.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a second incident for 7-2, a big incident. Several cars involved there.
Ooh.
That is where the main damage came from. I think they were okay until that.
That is a recent replay.
I think that's when I went to the first replay. That happened as soon as I cut away. Typical timing,
so,
but
I think, and I do believe Pulsatrix was also involved in an incident. So hey, Caster's curse at it again.
Let's just have a look at the running right now. So Psycho Kaiser is now the third place VTuber runner. Victor Masato, who has had a very quiet race, is actually, I think, battling with Pulsatrix right now. I'm not sure my timing on the game is up to date.
I don't know. I don't think it could take a little bit to update. ACC is a bit weird like that.
Yeah. So indeed, it is Psycho Kaiser third in VTuber category now. Pulsatrix fourth, Masato fifth, Akito sixth. Oh, as we catch him as he's having a big sideways moment in Stowe. Loses a position there, I think. But keeps it all on the track.
Yeah. Oh. But even those little slides, they still cost a ton of time. That is time that you're not accelerating and not pushing the car. So, gotta make sure you're minimizing even the slightest bit of slides.
Indeed, Assetto Corsa Competizione is very particular about tire pressures, tire temperatures, and sliding the tires will overheat them, will get them out of that optimal operating range, and then you've got to work to get it back down, cooled down into that range again before you can really find your pace. So yeah, it's much more punishing than other sims out there.
Yeah. Which is why I'm glad I'm in the commentary team and not racing. There's only so much I can do with a mouse, okay? At least with my abilities. There's a lot of great people who do mouse steering, but I can't.
Indeed, we have a lot of different controller methods in the field today, that is for sure. I know many of them will be on wheels. I know Psycho Kaiser, the reigning VTuber champion, is on controller. And I'm sure we have some mouse steerers in the field.
Possibly a couple of them, probably not a lot, because yeah, it is a bit hard to get used to mouse steering on ACC.
I think we had more in the Raceroom days, I think, didn't we, to be honest. ACC is a bit more, needs a bit more finesse, I think, sometimes.
I think when we were doing Raceroom, I was the only person doing mouse steering. Maybe one more person was,
oh, really?
but yeah. Yeah, I think everybody else was on controller or wheel. Either way, let's see how the running order is right now. Kirtani still has the fastest lap of the race. The gap does seem to be a lot closer than it was last time.
Yeah, 4/10 now, so not the closest it has been, I think, but it's very close when you see them together on track like that.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's still slipstream range, which is what matters.
Yeah, indeed. You know, with this view down the front straight, it makes them look like they're very nose to tail, but
yeah,
I think the Hurricane just probably has better top speed generally than the Porsche, so I think he's going to have some trouble getting. He'd need to be very close or have a really good run to really have a go here.
It genuinely depends on how strong the slipstream is going to be. Because the Porsche doesn't have the best top speed, sure, but with slipstream, I don't think it's going to matter as... Ooh, someone is getting a little squirrely there. I believe that is Ventrix.
Yeah, there was a lap car there as they went through, which I thought might affect Brenham's run onto the hanger straight, but it's not enough, and the gap remains about the same all through there.
Yep. So they go through Vale and now through Club. You gotta make sure they get a good exit, because this is not a long straight, so you gotta get every advantage you can out of the exit.
Looks like Kirtani's cleaning up just a little bit through those high-speed corners. Very good on the braking here.
Yeah, like I said before, like Kirtani
is
just
look into during the arena section, a very cheeky move catching Brenham off guard.
Yeah, pushing maybe a bit of a aggressive overtake. I think Brennan was pushed a bit.
Lets him go. Feels like that wasn't the way he wants to do it.
Yeah, I think I think Kirtani also saw that.
How that unfolded there. You know, the natural line there as you go through arena, it leaves the door wide open, and it's so tempting for the guy behind to have a move, but it is almost always something that will result in contact.
Yeah.
It does indeed. Sends Brenham way off the track, actually. We didn't see that from the onboard.
Yeah,
Kirtani being very sportsmanlike and just giving it straight back.
Yeah. As much as we do say that it's racing, sometimes people will admit that they were in the wrong, and they will do something like this, which, you know, I respect.
You know,
but I personally don't.
Can't really fault me. Had a go. It didn't work. Gave it back. All's good. Hopefully they can shake it off and have another go at it. Oh, and there's a moment. Back marker affecting Brenham's run onto the hanger straight, which I thought would happen last time. It didn't. It does now. Kirtani looking to the outside. Still very good top speed on the Huracan.
Yeah, I think the Huracan is just going to pull ahead. I think Kirtani may have acted a bit prematurely, but maybe the grip of the Porsche might help, but Brennan does have the dominant line through Stowe, so now it's all down to Vale. Bumper to bumper going through Club now. Let's see who's going to get a better exit. It's all about the exit, right here. They get a pretty similar line. I think Brennan is in the safe for now. Boy.
Yeah, it's not as close as it was last lap, I think. Kirtani once again closes up on the brakes, but I don't expect he'll go for the same move this time.
Yeah. We are 13 minutes away from the end. We're pretty much already halfway done with this race.
That has not felt like over half the race, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly, with how much action we've been trying to keep track of, time has flown by very quick.
This is certainly one of the closest battles on the track. Psycho Kaiser is catching up to Sebastian Fack in the McLaren, 0.6 seconds. He's not quite close enough to have a look yet, I don't think.
Yeah.
Psycho has quite a few cars to go through if he wants to move up from third in the VTuber category.
He's getting close enough, and the Lexus does have pretty good top speed as they head as they're getting ready to exit out of arena.
Yeah, this is the Lexus top speed really coming into play here.
Look at that! It's just walking by the 720S.
Yeah, completely different to what we see with the Porsche trying to chase the Huracan. I mean, I know Psycho had a good run there by the looks of it, but you know, it was a very different pace between the two there. Yeah,
the Lexus has insane tops, insane corner exit acceleration. So, yeah, the thing is pretty good if you're trying to maybe defend. Like it's a good car if you're defending a lot, but if you're trying to attack it, it is a bit hard to get. It is a bit hard to drive the car because it doesn't have the cornering capability. It's mostly just top speed.
As we see demonstrated right there, Psycho getting a load of understeer into Cops. And taking a bit of the runoff there.
Yeah, this is not an F1 car. You cannot take Cops flat out. You have to left a bit and GTs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Our VTuber leader, Anderson, is being caught a bit by Arara no Kyoji in the sim racing category.
Let's see if the older Porsche has a better top speed than the newer one. The 720S is, I believe, on par with the new Porsche when it comes to top speed, but it looks like Kyoji is not close enough to really do anything. As we come up to a backmarker again, I believe that is.
Yeah, that is Mentrix, I believe.
Yeah,
here we are. Hi, Mentrix. We haven't talked about him yet.
Yeah. I mean, in the usual iMentrix fashion, he's not really in the action most of the time. He's just, driving on, making sure the car finishes, which is, usually what a lot of people do.
iMentrix always sticks
with
it,
what
doesn't
people like to do. Yeah.
Casillas has also fallen way back down. That must have been part of the damage he was involved in earlier.
Yeah, I believe
is down here as well, 17 seconds behind. These guys have ended up way out of the order.
Yeah, 7-2 had multiple unfortunate accidents, and I believe Kasei was involved in 2 of them. So, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Kyoji has got past Anderson there. See if we can get a quick replay of that.
See?
Oh, it's already happened there.
Oh, yeah. Probably got him at Cops.
Possibly.
Yeah, because we switched to 7-2 at Brooklyn while they were going down Brooklyn. So yeah, probably passed him at Cops, which is possible. Some people might. Some people are kind of, as we mentioned, are afraid of Cops, which I don't blame them. If you look back at Kuratani and Brennan, looks like Brennan has started to pull away from Kuratani.
Yeah, just a bit. 0.5 is the gap now. Half a second. It was a little bit closer earlier. Right now, the Huracan has the pace.
Yeah, as we've seen before, the Huracan does have the top speed. So right now, Kuratani has to drive the wheels off the Porsche around the corners if he wants to catch him.
Oh, Brennan must be so sick of seeing back markers as he exits the Magnussen Beckett's complex. Every time it seems to happen to him. It's not enough
Yeah,
to affect the race again, but it's not the place you want to see a car, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I believe that some hard side was getting lapped by these two. These two are just in their own league right now. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, next car is Sawaya, 7 seconds behind. Oh,
Yeah.
as Kiritani has a bit of a look, but isn't really alongside into the chicane.
Yeah, looking on the outside of Club, that's a bit unorthodox.
Well, this is unorthodox too. He has a look into
Abby. Yeah.
Abby, thank you.
No, I have the track map open. Don't worry about
You're
it. I
very
got you.
prepared. That's one of the few corners I never remember on this circuit.
Yeah, because only Formula 1 crashes with most of the time.
Let's take a quick look at... oh, Masato has got past Poltertrix in the last few moments. I want to try and get a replay of that. They've been battling for a while, I think. Or has it again already happened when I click the replay? I think it may
Looks
have.
like it's loading.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah. You know, it's fine. I'll oh god, yeah, I see the Among Us. I am not mad, I am just disappointed.
Victor up to a very respectable 4th in the VTuber category after, you know, not really having much pace in qualifying. Which is typical of Victor's drives in previous seasons. Just quietly moving on up.
Yeah, like, as we mentioned before, you know, sometimes you won't really see that much action on your end when it comes to being part of these races. Sometimes you just find out that you
Tricks
just
having a look into the arena, sorry to cut across, but backs out last second.
Yep.
Still very close between these two now. Keeping an eye on the lead battle as we watch this, because that's currently 0.7. This is currently
exiting
the closest battle on track.
Yes, sir. And it is also probably the most equal battle, because I believe the AMG and the 720S is pretty much on par when it comes to performance.
Yeah, very different cars when you think about it, though. You know, the big front-engined Mercedes, and then the, you know, much more sleek mid-engine McLaren. Very different driving styles for these two, but evenly matched cars.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe McLaren did the usual unsafe panel gaps. Maybe there's too much of a panel gap on the 720S that's causing drag. Like, I don't know if that's really an issue on the GT cars, but on the road version of the 720S, there's some panel gap issues, tons of issues. Yeah. I've seen a few videos of rusted bolts on a brand new 720S. Anyways, they're right down the hangar straight. Plus, it does have the slipstream, but I think it's going to be enough as they head into Stowe.
That Mercedes seems quite good on the brakes.
Yep. It's always the main advantage of the AMG in seemingly every racing. I mean, so it's not very good at this.
Concentrates catching a little bit of grass on the braking zone there, but keeps it all together. I don't think that helped the lap time there.
Yeah.
Picked everything away just a little bit now.
And as we mentioned, these two are pretty similar behaving cars.
Just jumping up to the lead battle again, half a second still. As we jumped here, I saw there was some dust kicked up at the end of Maggers and Beckers, and I thought we had another lapped car getting involved, but they are a bit further up the track right now.
Yeah, no, don't worry, that's on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. We will see that lap.
Which is probably coming up right now. as Random catches the Ferrari, who is some lap down. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Ooh, bit of a late move.
Yanaris's Ferrari just pulling it to the side cleanly, no issues. So yeah, Kirtani has also gone past, no issues. Okay, good to see.
Oh, Jordan Brunch in the gravel there. Let's do a quick replay on that. So I may have just lost it into Maggers and Beckett's.
Probably.
Too much inside grass, I think, there, and just unsettles the car, can't keep it together.
Too much curb to maybe touch the grass a little bit and just just be gone. Just like the AMG, the Lexus is front engine and rear wheel drive, so it does like to kick the back out.
Our VTuber leader is making a lot of moves on their debut in the series, I believe it is.
Yeah,
on the back of
first
Chris
Yeah.
Looking for 5th overall. They don't really need it in terms of points. The points of the two classes are separate. But
yes, that is true.
Is some good bragging rights to finish top 5 overall.
Yeah, it's all about the flex. And also, it just puts another car between you and the other person behind you.
Yeah, indeed. Just one more person they have to go through to get to you. Not that Anderson seems under pressure right now from Damasu. It's not a huge gap, but it has been extending throughout the race.
Yeah, I think Damasu might have started losing the tires, but maybe been pushing a bit too hard. Because Damasu was kind of on pace with Anderson as they were driving along. Maybe maybe Anderson kept better tire conditions.
Possibly. Certainly seems like Anderson has the pace right now.
Yeah.
Secretary is also making his way up through the field, looking at Stupa right now. Trying to get up to Damasu. Can't find a way around through Maggots and Beckett though.
Yeah, Maggots and Beckett is just not worth it to pass there unless you're in unless maybe you're driving like a junior Formula, like maybe a Formula 4.
Let's see the power of the Lexus here. The Aston does have a slipstream from the Jaguar up in front, but still the Lexus with the double slipstream slingshots right down the inside here.
Yeah, it's hugging the inside there, passing both.
Looking to take it back on the outside. Sorry, I can't do it around the outside though. Not the line you want to have for the Vale chicane.
Let's see if you can keep up with the slipstream, but the Lexus might be too powerful for that.
Yeah, right now Psycho looks like he's able to pull away from that battle.
Yeah.
Further back in the field, we have a VTuber battle here, I think. I think we just missed something that happened there.
Yeah, let's see if...
We're looking at DJ Overdrive right now. I think they just actually... they were just as Kuro was just ahead there. Running a bit slowly.
Okay, the leader is on the final lap now. Give it all you can.
Both Overdrive and Kuro seem to be a bit slow as...
That is Akin bin Abbas in the Mercedes getting past both of them, I believe. Yeah, as these two try and get on terms with each other for position in the VTuber class, they have a sim racer battling with them at the same time. I think Justice Kuro must have issues. Oh, a bit of a bump there.
Ooh, yeah, that was a bit unfortunate.
Justice Kuro looking quite slow there. We have reached time actually in the race. It's gone so fast I didn't notice.
Yeah. Of race 1.
Final lap now. It looks like Kiritani's fallen back as well, 1.8 seconds. Looks like he's tanking the back marker a little bit there.
Yeah.
Coming through the final corners now. We have Brenham in the Huracan.
Yep. Winning race 1 in their debut. I don't think Brennan was here last season. Yeah, this is Brennan's debut. Yeah, hey! Winning on debut, that's pretty cool.
Kiritani following in second. Something like 2.4 seconds is the gap at the end, but it was much closer than that for most of the race. Sawaya third in the M4. Gurgley will come in. Did I say third for Sawaya? It was third. Fourth for Gurgley. Chris Blue in the M4. Quiet race up there. It's actually under threat from Anderson here at the end still, but looks like he will stay ahead for now. Anderson,
Yeah.
who will win the VTuber category on their debut, I believe.
Yes, this is Anderson's debut race as well, so hey, another debut win for both classes actually, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, changing of the guard, it seems, in at the top of both categories, at least in race 1 here.
Yeah, let's see what happens now.
Didn't talk about them much, but D-Ringer here in the Reiter got up to 8th overall, 7th in class, in the Reiter Lamborghini. So that's actually a really good drive, and a quiet one, to be honest. We didn't really notice much of that.
Yeah, the silent but deadly.
Psycho Kaiser coming in 3rd in the VTuber category. Trying to see if there's any battles as we come to the end. Assetto and Georgi here, but that's not going to change across the line. 2 McLarens. Bolsodrix fell behind quite a bit from Assetto there towards the end. Akito behind. Didn't have much of a recovery there after his incidents. It was, you know, quite far back for Akito. But hopefully he'll be hoping for a better performance next time. He had great pace early on, so
yeah,
be interesting to see what he can do next time.
Yeah, anything can happen for race 2 because this season we're sticking to qualifying starts for both races, just like we did last season when we switched to ACC. Unlike when we did in Raceroom, which was reverse grid for the top 10. So let's see if people can get a better start at their second chance. As we wait for the race to proceed.
Yeah, it'll just be a few moments for the server to switch over to race 2 and everyone will get on the grid again. As Evan said, it will be just the same starting order, so we will have Brenham and Kiritani on the start again. Kiritani will want to keep the pole position this time. Probably, maybe we'll see them be a bit more aggressive into cops. We shall see.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one.
Yeah, it's very interesting starting with the same grid, I find, because it's almost like at least for the first turn, it is literally a redo. If you know what you did wrong on the first race, you can literally try and do something different the second race.
Yeah. So, let's see what happens as we just wait for the game to switch.
Bring up the full timing sheet if you're interested in looking here of how they finished in race 1. We had 18 cars on the lead lap.
Interesting. I think what we see when we look at the timing sheet is that the difference between consistency and pace. Because Kiritani did get the fastest lap, but I don't think he wasn't consistent enough to keep up with Brennan and eventually pass. I think that was the issue. Even though Brennan had multiple issues with lap cars.
Yeah, it always looked like that might play a part, but just couldn't get good enough of a run. Could Kiritani? Was never enough to really benefit, and the top speed of the Huracan did not help that either.
Yeah. Let's see if things will change as we finally go on with race 2. Rolling start as always.
And everyone will grid up again. We will do another full formation lap of Silverstone Circuit, and then we'll go green again and see if we will see the same results out of turn 1 or something new.
Yeah.
You must be somewhat annoyed if you're in Kiritani's shoes. I mean, you have to say calm, really, but, you know, knowing you had the pole, you had good pace, but you just lost it on turn 1 and couldn't get on terms with the top speed of that Huracan, you will be wanting to make something different happen into this turn 1, I feel.
Yeah, I'm expecting Kiritani to be a lot more aggressive this time around because I think Kiritani played a bit safe at the start of race 1, which is what allowed Brennan to just walk on by.
Yeah.
And then knowing how pretty much half of the Silverstone is straights, I think was able to just use it to his advantage.
Indeed, I think Kiritani knows he needs to be ahead and ideally out of the main slipstream range. You know, he needs a bit of a gap, which is going to be hard to get, but it's the only way he can realistically stay ahead. I think because Brenham's just really strong in that Hurricane, and you know, at this track with that top speed, it's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah. Kiritani is also going to be hoping for Kyoji to get a better start, so maybe he can start pestering Brennan as well.
Yes,
because everybody, I think this is just a race that everybody's looking for a better exit. Better start than last time.
Since I didn't really get through the whole grid last time, let's finish it off.
Let's do on the grid this time.
We got to around, we got to Russo, didn't we? I'm going to go to, we did Justice Kuro, didn't we? That was the last person, I think, who has switched cars. I can't remember what they were running last season. Can you remember what they were in last season? I think it was a McLaren.
Yeah, Kuro was in a McLaren.
Huracan this season, so I changed before that. Paddock Fungus returning after missing some races last season, I believe, in the Audi R8. That's actually the first Audi. That's what I'm signed up with. It's sad to see them so far down. Shikai Hawken with the gender bent of his VTuber model on the side of the car for this season. I enjoyed watching the reveal of that a few days ago in the Porsche. DJ Overdrive, we saw them briefly in the last race running. Another Lexus runner. I think it's 4 we have in the race.
Yes, it is the fourth, maybe fifth Lexus in this race.
Yuri Nikolai in the M4. iMentrix in the V12 older Aston Martin. And we did show this one in the qualifying, I believe. Kanemoto in the Jag, rounding out the field.
The Jag.
It is a cool car, that though. I like it.
Yeah.
So we're coming through Stowe now. It feels like it's the end of the lap, but it's not, because we go at Cops in IVGTC, replicating what they do in
Formula 1, but it's simple. I still don't understand why Formula 1 started this shorter straight. That is, club.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to build the new building without tearing down the old one, I suppose. But
I don't know, maybe
past the wing and the Formula 1 pits now. Not much in the way of weaving from our 2 leaders here.
Yeah, they're probably just hyper focused at the start right now. Or maybe they're doing the Kimi strat. Have you like seen Kimi Räikkönen in formation laps? Everybody else is warming their tires and then Kimi just driving straight.
Indeed.
It's honestly kind of like a depth there, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Starting to line up double file now, I think.
Yeah. People are gonna start forming, gonna start slotting into their positions right now as they head down to Brooklands. Down the Wellington Strait, I believe it is called. Can't really remember. And also it's not showing on the track map.
I believe that one is the Wellington, yeah. And then it's Hangar, it's the back straight.
Yeah, Hangar is after Maggots and Beggars.
And the Formula 1 pits are the Hamilton straight now, of course.
Oh, oh really? They named it after Hamilton?
Only a few years ago, but yeah.
Oh.
Trivia aside, we're coming to the green flag for race 2 now. Let's see what Kiritani wants to do this time.
Yeah, as they go around the Woodcut Bend one more time. Side by side, getting ready to lower it down into cups.
It's a long hold, it feels like here. We'll go past the timing line, I believe that is, and head towards the starting line.
If that was the starting line,
There we go. Now they're off. It's a good start from Kiritani this time.
Yeah.
Can Brennan get a run into Maggots and Beckett's? It's not enough.
Brennan looks like Brennan tried to do a little switchback.
Yeah.
Oh.
Has a look, backs out. Thinks better of it at this point.
Yeah, not worth it right at the start of the race.
Quick look back in the field here.
Anderson falling off a little bit by the looks of things.
Anderson 7-2 and Damasu very close for the VTuber lead in the middle of all of that. 3 wide down the hanger straight here. Damasu backs out, wide decision when you're already second in your category, but he gets them both, almost both back because they come together. Side by side into the Veil chicane. Oh, big dive there. From Nemsovsky, I think that is. Polstertrick's now getting involved as well.
Boy, talk about an action-packed midfield.
It's very close at the top actually now that we come back to the overall lead battle.
Yeah, looks like with Kiritani leading now, Brandon can't really pull himself and Kiritani ahead of the field. So it looks like now the rest of the pack will be able to actually fight with them this time around, with Kiritani now basically trying to hold off 4 people at once.
Changes the complexion of the race completely if it stays as it is right now, so close between these two and the cars behind.
Yeah.
That was someone going off slightly there. Let's just jump back. I think Arada no Kyoji went deep here.
Oh yeah, looks like they did go deep.
Just gets on the grass, gets it back on again. It's hard to get it back on when you get on the grass there, but manages to do so.
Yeah, left field is not really it's a very complex section to get.
Indeed. One I'm not usually a fan of driving personally. Can never get it right.
I don't like driving Silverstone at all.
They are beginning to gap Sabaya in third. And look, here we go. The power of the Huracan now behind the Porsche. On display here. Gets alongside. Is it enough? Oh, Kiritani does what he needed to do and parked on the apex there. Because he knew that Brennan would be going for that switchback. Could not be given that opportunity. Kiritani remains ahead.
This is exactly the type of thing that you would do if you know that you're in a position where your opponent is in a faster car. You just got to make sure you're parking on the apex, you're not giving them any room to have an advantage. Yeah.
Kiritani needs to nail all those exits though. I do not envy their position right now because I know the stress of being ahead of someone who is much, much faster than you. Oh, as we see Sawaya with a bit of a dive there on Brenham. It was quite close. I'm not sure if there was contact. Let's just take another look at that.
I think he just barely missed him.
Yeah, it's going in too hot. It wasn't really a dive for position, just going in too hot with it. I did the wrong line there, but all good. No contact made.
Yep.
Still very close between the 3.
Yeah, Arena is a lot more complex than it looks when it comes to, especially its braking points. So, yeah, you have to get your line dead right to make sure you're not just ramming right into somebody.
Chris Blue has a drive-through penalty. I'm not sure what that is for right now.
I believe the drive-through is for jumping the start.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's just because applied by the game automatically.
Yeah.
So yeah. I believe we had quite a few of those at Monza last season.
I always spot it at the wrong time for Jordan. He's off in the wall slightly there. Let's just go back and get a better look at that.
I think he spun at the same apex.
Oh, it is the same. It's basically the same as incidents before. That is unfortunate for Jordan.
Yeah.
This time he does brush the wall, but only brushes it.
Yeah. You don't.
Oh, we are having a battle for the lead here. Side by
Just
side
leading.
through Club and Vale here. They're bumping as they go onto the Hamilton straight.
Yeah, Jesus. Kiritani was pretty much sliding around the entirety of Club and on Hamilton straight. So, no, that thing, Kiritani really knows how to drive that thing.
I wanna. Well, that's. Oh, here we go. We're gonna probably see the pass here. Was it just hanger straight?
Let's see. As you can see, Kiritani just knows that the Huracan is rocket.
See, this time Brennan's probably just gonna go around the outside. No? Can't get it done there, but does get a better exit. Ooh, very tight there on the track limits.
Yeah, I think
But,
Brendan was. Yeah.
I think it was just legal, but yeah, Sawi are coming right into play thanks to that, and they remain side by side. That is a nice little battle there.
Yeah. That's enough of the replay though. Let's go back to the real action.
Unfortunately, I've got to wait. I'm not sure how to jump it back.
Should have tested that before the stream.
It's only a few more seconds, but
Yeah.
there we go, back to life. Brennan already pulling it out to 0.6 of a second there.
Yeah, and now Kiritani has more to worry about than just Brennan. Sawai and Gurgly are actually relatively close behind. I think.
Indeed, Gurgly and Sawi are very close here.
But they're also close to each other, so they might fight.
Indeed. Which probably not the best decision for those two if they're thinking about the long game. I think if they fight, then Kiritani gets away. We know that Kiritani probably is faster, as we saw in the first race. You know, that these top two pulled away. It's in Sawaya and Gurgly's interest to not let that happen, but it may be inevitable here.
Yeah. I mean, as we've said before, this is not a team game, so nobody's really teaming up here, so there's a good chance they'll just fight. No. It's all about the bragging rights, you know? Like, you're gonna get... Those are fighting for the podium, basically.
Indeed. We've got a big train of cars here, actually. Let's just have a quick look at this. Damasu there, still second in the VTuber category, 8th overall, followed by Nemtsovsky, Dieringer in the writer, Polstrix, Stupak, Georgi, Akim bin Abbas, and Bunovic, all within a second of the car in front.
Yeah, that midfield is gonna be packed with action, probably.
Indeed, this will be a battle to watch throughout the race.
Yeah.
Brennan has actually taken it to over a second over Kiritani. Or maybe Kiritani is almost, you know, feels a bit helpless after what happened in the first race. Now being passed again, you know, probably thinks they might not be able to make anything of it. So it has gone out to a second, which is one of the largest gaps we've seen between these two over the course of both races.
Yeah.
It's not over just yet.
Or Kiritani might have overheated the tires as well.
Possibly, you know, that was a hard battle. It's easy when you're in that heat of the moment to do bad things to the tyres. Because, hey, you've got to do it to stay ahead sometimes.
Yeah, and Silverstone is not really easy on the tires either. That's also another thing.
No, all these fast corners, very easy to scrub the fronts if you're not being careful.
Yeah.
A bit of a dummy from Nemtsovsky there.
That's pretty smart. Like, I've not really seen anybody throw a dummy in IVGTC all that often.
I did a good one a couple of seasons ago. Well, a bit of contact there, a bit of a hip check as they go side by side into the chicane. Damas who stays ahead. Now we've got Dieringer and Polstrix right behind, trying to get involved on this.
Yeah, but that Raider Lamborghini is gonna be, you know, dealing with the lack of anything that it has right now. As you know, Dieringer has to defend from Polstrix more than trying to catch up to Damasu.
Polstrix looking to the outside as they go into the arena. Doesn't really give you an opportunity for a move there, but does put Dieringer offline. Polstrix misses the next apex though, so they're not going to get a run there down the Wellington straight.
Yeah, props to Dieringer, like I said, keeping that car putting some impressive performance despite what they're driving. Because the rated Porsche, yeah, that's really a Porsche. The rated Lamborghini, there we go. The rated Lamborghini is very average to meh when it comes to performance. Top speed, acceleration, handling. It's a very average to meh car when it comes to all of those. So it's really, a true showing of skill when someone is actually able to be competitive with it.
Indeed, that is for sure. Bit of a battle further back, actually. Dubrovka looking on to pass DJ Overdrive into Brooklands. DJ Overdrive going a little bit wide. They remain side by side. Oh, DJ Overdrive getting a bit of grass there.
And that's a bit sketchy. They both throw each other off through Brooklands and Lafayette.
Two cars known for their top speed, I think, here, isn't it? The V12 Aston Martin and the Lexus. Yeah. Oh, they're side by side as they go towards Maggotts and Beckett's. It looks like DJ Overdrive backed out of it a bit there, felt that the corner was made, didn't want to go side by side.
Yeah, Overdrive slowed down a lot at Cops. I don't know what that was about.
I think they got a bit of understeer, I'm not sure though.
Yeah, possibly. So now he has to catch back up to the Broca, and the Lexus does have slightly better top speed compared to the V12.
Does it?
So,
okay.
Yeah, I think it is the fastest
GT car.
I'm not sure. I'm just guessing because of how dominant that thing
Yeah,
is.
I mean, if it isn't, then, the people that are driving it certainly know what to do with it, don't they? To make it look that way.
Yeah.
The midfield battle rages on. Polstertrix under pressure at the moment from Stupa in the other Aston Martin, the V8 more modern variant.
Yep. I'm gonna quote the same thing that I said at Spa. It looks like a confused catfish. The new V8 Vantage looks like a catfish. And I love it. It's a speedy little catfish.
Polstertrix currently sitting in third place in the VTuber category. And quite a way ahead of the next person, 7-2. Not a huge amount actually, but a few cars back. We know 7-2 had good pace running, very up front in the VTuber category last race. Hasn't quite got to that sharp end in this race, but still a way to go.
Yeah. Let's see if 7-2 can actually go through this race without any major incidents like they did in race 1. That's it's gonna be interesting to see.
Well, I think Sawaya and Gurgley are very close right now for third place overall and in the sim racer category.
You are correct, as they're pretty much bumper to bumper right now.
What do you think has the best top speed out of these two? Two cars that aren't really known for top speed at all, really, are they?
I think they're pretty on par.
Sorry, that was Gurgley having a very late braking, but gets it all stopped. I thought it was going to be a dive, but much later on the brakes there in the McLaren.
Yeah, the McLaren has pretty good brakes. Like I think the one advantage it has above the BMW. The BMW might be a bit more stable around corners, though.
Oh, they're very close as they go into Cops.
Yeah, two dark knights fighting them. But hey, not wrong. They're both in blacked out cars.
Indeed, yeah, very clean liveries on both.
It's either they did it on purpose or you messed up your skins that much.
I hope this is their actual skins. I really do. We'll find out after the race, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Polstertrix very close now with Vistupa. Not sure the V8 will have a run here down the hanger straight.
The platforms of the V8 Advantage and the AMG are pretty much identical, so they're probably going to be very similar. Who basically going to be down to who has the slipstream advantage.
Psycho Guides are down in 6th in the VTuber category. Not where he'll want to be right now. But he's making his way through some of the sim races here. Trying to have a move. Ferrari on the outside gets squeezed to the outside of the hanger straight. Not sure Russo was aware he was there. It seemed a bit of drifting across the track there. But Psycho gets through anyway, safely. He was up to...
Yeah, that was a very unsafe defend by Russo there. But didn't leave enough space. Pushed Kaiser pretty much half of Kaiser's car onto the grass right there.
Psycho's now catching Victor for 4th place in the VTuber category. 2.2 seconds is the gap between them. That will be a battle we'll see shortly, I believe.
Yeah, it's going to be down to power versus agility with those two.
Ooh, Sawaya and Nemtsovsky were side by side as they entered. Sorry, not Sawaya and Nemtsovsky. Sawaya and Gregory as they went into cops there.
After the magazine, because is anyone going to throw a eyeball? Is Gregory going to throw a eyeball? Nope. Looks like he's just going to back out, wait for the hanger straight.
Gurgley was trying to have a look for a different line there, but doesn't really work. Oh, looks like a good run though, it must be said, down the hanger straight. Oh, yep. Pulls out last second on the rear bumper of that BMW, wanting all the draft possible. Is it enough? It's not.
Just not enough. Those two cars are just too equal to really get an easy slipstream pass with.
Gurgley is putting a lot of pressure on right now though. It would be hard for Sawaya not to crack under this pressure.
Yeah, but Gurgley also make sure he's not pushing too hard.
Yep, indeed. If he does this too long, then tyres will probably give up under him and the gap will go out. Speaking of that, we were talking about that earlier with Kiritani. He hasn't been able to pull in the gap much. It's 2.9 seconds off the Brennan, so not the close fight we saw in race 1. It's not happening again here today.
Yeah, it looks like Brennan just has the better of Kiritani at Silverstone anyways.
Indeed.
But we still have half of the race to go, so anything can happen. So maybe Brennan will get caught up by backmarkers again. Who knows?
Gurgley potentially overdriving the car just a little bit. Often see them going just a bit deep into some corners. Trying to find that extra pace that he needs, but potentially cooking the tyres as we mentioned.
Yeah, like I said. Yeah, it looks like Gurgley just pushed a bit too hard trying to pass Sawaya.
Hard to at this point, you've got to back off just a little bit, let everything cool down, and then push back up, with some control, and then have another go. It's hard to do that when you know you're faster and you want the position, but you can't get it done.
Yeah, but it's all about how you go through with it. Right now, Gurgley just has to sit back a little bit, and probably gonna have a new chance as we switch to Kanemoto spinning out into the grass at Arena.
Yep, indeed. Trying to find their way back on track. I'm not sure where they went off, but they are returning to the corner here before turn 4.
Not sure why you would do that and not just go onto the straight out right away, but okay.
I don't want to know. Maybe the game gives a penalty. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
We missed what happened to Akito earlier on. I thought he was going sideways a bit there. Yeah, he's down at the back of the field. Not sure what happened to him earlier in the race, but he has found trouble yet again, unfortunately, for him.
Yeah, no, a bummer, I could have had a very good end to Season 3, but now has got this.
Gurgley getting back up close to Sawaya. Once again, very good on the brakes. Doesn't overcook it. Different lines between these two cars, so when I see Gurgley go a little bit wider. It's not necessarily going too deep. It's very close now as they go back onto the national pit straight, I think it is. And,
Yeah, this is the national pit straight.
And then nose to tail is intercops. No side-by-side action just yet, but I think we may see it down the Hanger straight.
Yeah. The McLaren does have slightly better acceleration compared to the BMW, so right now Gurgley just has to focus on getting better corner exits than anything else.
Yeah, if you can get that good acceleration, get into that air bubble behind BMW early enough. It's not early enough on this lap, barely any draft, but once again, so good on the brakes there, catching up quite a long distance.
Yeah. Both of them just using all the track space available to them as well.
Yes, I can't see whether or not they're getting track cut warnings, but you know, if they're not, then they're pushing the limits of it sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of racing in a nutshell, isn't it? You're always trying to find the corner.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about racing, really, most of the time. It's just trying to find the corner. It's just about finding the track limits. What can I abuse on this corner?
Indeed.
I go through arena.
Well, they are very close. I think there was a lap car there that we didn't really see. And they are now absolutely nose to tail. Gurgley has to go out. Oh, wanted to do a switchback or a dummy there, I think, but the BMW was in the way. You can't disappear, and has to back out of that. Almost, I saw a car being punted off there, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, it looks like Savaya was not falling for that dummy at all.
He did not want. I think if Gurgley gets the inside there with that sort of run, that's probably, you know, the end of the fight, at least for the moment. So I think he wanted to make sure he went around the outside there.
I think that was a bad decision on Gurgley's end because going into Brooklands, you want that inside line because it's just automatically better, and it's just set you up much better for the Luffield.
Yeah, well, the thing is with the braking that he has in that McLaren, I thought he was going to go around the outside completely and then get the inside for the next one, but he didn't go for that. And well,
yeah, Gurgley tried to cut back in, expecting Savaya to go outside and go out.
Couldn't get that move.
Savaya knows that. Yeah, but Savaya knows the better line on Brooklyn is just keeping the inside, so I don't think. So yeah, what you said could have worked if Gurgley stood on the outside. We said as they go through Club onto the Hampton Straight.
I said I didn't like driving the Brooklands and Left Field Complex earlier, but the fact that we can have such a long conversation about a move just shows how interesting it is to race it. You know, lots of options of how you get past people there, I feel.
Yeah. Most of the time it's just trying to get them to make the mistake of the outside line on Brooklands.
You want to influence their position to your advantage. It's quite interesting. I think it is anyway.
That's pretty much how defending and attacking really works, then, doesn't it?
Some close battling here. We have the VTuber leader Anderson, followed by Arabano Kyoji and Nemsovsky. And the backmarker Jag, Kanemoto, in the mix here. I'm not sure if that was contact there, but the Jag does go off. If there was, I think it was only a small bump. Yeah.
I don't think there was contact. I think just people trying to make sure that they really met with everybody by.
Yeah, I think so. It looked a bit closer to the Porsche, but I think it was fine.
Yeah. No, if the Porsche would have hit it, the Porsche would have been going off instead. Because it's a Jag. I think it's pretty heavy.
(7.2) is also in a bit of a battle here, running third in the VTuber category, but 0.2 seconds behind is Hakim bin Abbas, running 13th overall. It's a good run out of cops here. Might have a side-by-side moment. The Maggot and Beckers will either yield. Nope.
Looks like 7-2 is gonna have to.
7-2 goes for Abbas, yields slightly into Beckett's there.
Yeah.
As they come up to Mentrix.
Now, let's see. No fuss with Mentrix, just letting 7-2 by.
Battle for third is almost looking like our battle for first in the previous race, isn't it? With these two within a second constantly.
Just puts you really on the edge of your seat, just hoping for something to happen.
Look how close they look from this camera angle. Gurgley just poking his. Oh, looks like he's going for a real late dive there, but can't make it work. So that way, just closes the door, as he is entitled to do.
Yeah. As I've said before, as soon as you lock down the inside on Brooklyn, you're just gonna automatically perfect line into Luffield.
It must be said that Sawaya seems to have a really good understanding of where that McLaren is strong, and it's currently able to defend in all the right places, getting the extras where it needs.
Sawaya is definitely a very good driver, possibly a driver to watch out this season. Who knows, maybe Brennan and Kiritani are getting lucky this race, you know, who knows, maybe Sawaya is going to just blow out everybody else in the next 5 races. We have 8 minutes left.
Already? That really does go fast. This Gurgley takes a lot of exit from there. That is indeed beyond the 5 minutes.
So I would assume so. Well, yeah, talking about all this action though, we're just trying to, trying to explain all the action. It really does make time just fly by. Looks like they're still fighting for first place in the VTuber standings, Damasu and Anderson, right? I think no, not Damasu.
Yeah.
Kyoji.
Aaron and Kyoji in the sim racer category, but very close to Anderson. As is Nemcovsky right behind them. So a 3-way battle for 6th place overall. None of them able to get...
Kyoji's in the sim racing category.
According to what ACC has brought up, yes. Maybe that's wrong.
Okay, then.
But
no, it's probably correct. I mean, do we have a lot of weebs in the grid?
Yes, yeah, we do.
It's making a bit confusing.
Yeah, they have the grey number panel on the timing board is the sim racer category, and the white with the black number is the VTuber category. So, assuming ACC has it correct, then yeah.
All right.
Hopefully that is correct. Otherwise, I've been calling it wrong the whole race. But oh well, we'll correct that afterwards if we're wrong.
Either way, this has been a pretty exciting race.
Oh,
so
we were
far.
looking at the right car there. Aaron Kyoji going off in Magus and Beckett. Just a little wiggle. But a little wiggle is all it takes there to end up in the grass. Loses the position to Nemcovsky there.
Yeah, like we've said, the Porsche is not an easy car to drive. Neither of them, I would say, actually.
Yeah, powerful and fast if you get it right, but one that will easily bite.
Yep.
One of the, I'm sure the effect is there in all cars, but I think the positioning of the fuel tank in the Porsche makes a really big difference, doesn't it? The balance of the car will change as the fuel wears off. Not so much important in a 30-minute race or 35-minute race, but over a full tank, it's going to significantly change the car.
I believe in an emptier tank, it would actually...
Oh!
Well,
hot or dirty tires for Arara no Kyoji, and they have another spin coming into the arena section. Gonna lose some more positions here, I believe.
I'm gonna have to guess they might have overheated tires.
Yeah, yeah. You've got to take it easy when you go off. As much as you want to regain all that time you've lost after a spin, you just can't. You have to back off, let the tyres cool down, get back in that operating window, and then have a go again at getting your pace back.
Yeah, because as you're spinning out, your tires are basically just sliding across the ground and, you know, overheating. That's how friction works. So obviously you cannot go full power the moment you spin. And speaking of spinning, Fabiano Russo just goes sideways a little bit.
Yeah, just too much curb, I think, in Magazine Beckett's, and sends the car around, completely unsettles the car.
Yeah, these things are not... These are very precise machinery. You can't really just chuck them around like a touring car.
Yeah, that is true. You don't want to... As much as they feel like... can feel like a touring car, you know, they are based off of road cars somewhat, but sometimes these things behave more like a prototype car than a GT or a touring car like you might expect them to, or how they may have done 5-10 years ago. Anderson now with Nemcovski right behind, now that the Porsche's out of the way, and these two are very, very close right now. Yeah,
right now it's all about driver skill, as they're both in equal, basically the same car.
Yeah, we haven't seen really many battles of the same two cars. It shows how diverse the grid is, but I believe this is one of the first times we've seen this in today's races.
Yeah, I would say so. The field is very diverse, just like our cast of drivers.
Yeah, people from
and
all
our
over the
cast
world.
of misfit commentators.
Oh, Nemcovski does look strong right now. This isn't really for any points, you know. They're in different categories here. Nemcovski in the sim racing category, Anderson leading the VTuber category. So if I were Anderson, I'd want to be careful here, and, you know, perhaps even consider letting Nemcovski through. You sure there's bragging rights for overall position, but I wouldn't want to risk losing time because Damaso isn't too far behind.
Yeah, but anything for that clout now. And also, not to mention, there's 3 minutes left.
Yeah, 3 minutes to go as well. This is, you know, if we see an incident here, it would change the VTuber race with just a few minutes to go.
Yeah, so Anderson has got to be really careful when going up against Nemcovski right now. He's got to make sure. Ooh. Looks like that's...
Yeah, BMW being left there stays well out of the way, doesn't even get involved in this battle.
Yep.
The overall lead has come way out now. It was just over 10 seconds earlier. It's 9.6 seconds now, so the battle we saw earlier on just hasn't repeated itself. Will this be a move into Stowe from Nemcovski? Oh, Anderson with a bit of a late defense there ends up going wide as a result. Kind of worried about the contact, probably wise to let that go in the end, to be honest, and hold on to that VTuber lead.
Yeah, and assuming that Damaso has had a good exit, well, it should allow him to catch up to Anderson.
Yeah, Damaso only a few corners behind, coming onto the Hamilton straight here, as Anderson leaves the Hamilton straight, so really the gap is tiny there. 6.4 seconds I make it on the timing.
Yeah, and that's
we've had an incident for the third place, I think. Let's just jump back here. Oh, the two of them for third place side by side through that kink. It's so hard to go side by side through there. They bump and Gergely comes off worse there.
That is right out of arena, right?
Yes, down the Wellington straight. A very difficult place to go side by side. It can be done, but some give or take needs to happen.
That exit is a lot tighter than a lot of people expect.
It is,
so.
Yeah. It's easy. It's an easy flat corner when you're on your own, but as soon as you're side by side and you realise this is kind of a one-line corner, you got to be very, very careful doing that.
Yeah. You either got to risk going wide and going past track limit, or you just have to, or one of you just has to back out.
Yeah.
But this is racing. Nobody backs out.
Indeed, and that brings Casillas into play as he passes Russo there in the Ferrari. Casillas is only 1.4 behind Gergely. Not much time to go. This may actually be the final lap. I don't think we'll make it round. Yeah, we will not. This will be the final lap. Brennan is coming onto the Hamilton straight now, but there's only 14 seconds on the clock, so any last moves have to be now. I think Gazayas won't be close enough to have a look there. Closest battle we have right now is Stupa, followed by 7-2 and Hakeem Benabas, so this is not a battle for position, but 7-2 is in between two cars that are battling for position in the category.
Yep. And now we are out of time, and this is the final lap for everybody to put their final moves, their final few corners.
I think Psycho Kaiju just made up one position there, as Brunovic is having it off in Magus and Beckett's. As we go back to Brenham up front, rounding the final corner. Well, second to last, I should say, but going through Woodcut now.
Yep. And just relatively casually winning both races on debut.
Indeed, he had a big battle in race 1, but not so much in race 2. Kiritani not having the pace to have a battle this time, despite getting that lead early on and fighting hard.
Yeah, I think Kiritani is just not consistent enough to really battle people. For attacking, they're really good. Kiritani is very good at attacking, but in terms of defending, I think they still have some work to do. And not to mention, Brennan was just way too consistent for Kiritani to really keep up with. I think, again, like with races at this length, it really doesn't matter if you're consistent or not.
Yeah. Amelia Anderson takes victory again in the VTuber category again. So two wins there as well on debut.
Yeah, two double wins on debut. This is pretty good. This is pretty cool for IVGTC.
Yeah, big change. You know, none of the real players from last season were on show today. So
yeah, the highest, the highest placing placing driver from last season was championship contender Casillas was like the highest person from last season. Like most of his top 5, like top 10 is new faces.
Indeed, because Casillas having quite a quiet 2 races, getting 5th place overall in this race, but didn't really look at it much, to be honest. Didn't seem to be in too many battles, just quietly moving on to that 5th place. Not bad in terms of points. Reigning champion Psycho Kaiser in the VTuber category, well down in 17th, but still 4th in class, and not bad points really for him.
Yeah, but still, compared to Kaiser's dominance in last season, it is pretty much a big fall from grace.
Indeed, so. But it's round 1. First 2 races in the book. Where are we next week?
Next week we're going to Italy. Specifically, we're going to Misano for round 2 of IVTTC Season 4. Make sure you catch us same time, same day, and hopefully with the same amount of action.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, everyone, for this race. We will hopefully see you next week. Thank you for watching.